Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Drunken Under Quarantine show, where we just found out we might not be so drunken under quarantine. We're just California sober. Let's get it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We are on episode 47 of the Drunken Under Quarantine show. 5 more left this year. Holy shit. We're, of course, with Collen, Doyle, GW Foley, and our very special guest, the Chancellor and King of the Zoom Boom. Even though we're on StreamYard, so we might need to create a new name for it. But Matt Vita will be joining us. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about Florida Man tonight, because I don't know about you guys, but he's my favorite superhero. We're going to talk about the epidemic of EMTs being bit in New York City. We're going to talk about this awesome gun that the cops discovered that was disguised as a Nerf gun, which I'm looking for one desperately. We're going to talk about the staffers of the White House being let go due to marijuana use, and wondering if that applies to Kamala as well. And we're also going to talk about being California sober. But without further ado, I would like to welcome to the spotlight stage my good friend and one of everybody's favorites, Mr. GW Foley.
You, yeah, fucking applause. That's bring it in for the Foley dog. Oh, woo. So let me first start by saying my arm is fucking sore. It's so sore. I had my COVID shot, my first one 3 weeks ago for my second, which is supposed to be the doozy, and I'm afraid. Like, the amount of pain that is radiating in this general direction is fucking. It's like if my shoulder had nuts and someone went up and kicked it. That's how much pain is in my arm right now. Like, I rolled over in my sleep and winced like a little baby being fucking, I guess, shot. Like I was just like, fuck, ow. And yeah, nothing I do. Like, I tried jerking off earlier, and like, I'm a pinch hitter. Like, I throw right, but I bat left. You know what I'm saying? And it was so hard to just keep the fist and keep going back and forth, because like I don't have a big dick. I will say that, but I like putting a little motion into it, like throwing a little knuckleball, I guess. And like every time, like I would do this like right now I'm doing the motion and it fucking kills. So let me just say, ladies and gentlemen, do not get a COVID shot. It hurts so much. It's not worth it. And besides, like, you have what, a 99.9% chance of surviving? Like, roll those dice, fuckers. Like, you talk a big game, but let's see how you actually go. Fucking hard in the paint, man. Fucking throw it to the rim. There's other fucking sports analogies that I could do. Throw that hat trick. No, like I only got in this early is because I have diabetes, which for the first time in my life I'm happy I have diabetes. Every other time it's like, oh, I can't do that. I have diabetes. But this time it's like, yes, diabetes for the win. All I have to do is have a lot of fucking blood sugar. Yeah, that's great. All the years of having my fucking PB sticky, that makes it worth it. I get to be in front of the line of the COVID shot. And so when I was there, the guy in front of me, he looked like he could have raided the Capitol on January 6th. Like cowboy boots, or work boots, as they call them. They ain't cowboy boots, the work boots. Yeah, okay. They don't have laces, and they have fucking little pull-up straps on the side. They're cowboy boots. You have a heel. They're cowboy boots. They're not fancy cowboy boots. That's like saying like Chuck All-Star is a sneaker, and Air Jordans are sneakers. They don't look alike, but they're both fucking sneakers. You are wearing goddamn cowboy boots. Anyway, so he has cowboy boots. He has a hat on, and on the back of the hat it said sheepdog. And I'm like, bitch, who the fuck are you protecting? I see that little fucking like PP6 shooter that you have on your fucking side. That's not going to stop anyone. Like that. I don't even know what bullet size it takes, but it looks like it's probably like a 22. You know what happens when a guy like me gets shot with a 22? Absolutely fucking nothing. Bounces right off. I've seen the ballistic gel test. I know what happens. Oh, maybe it goes in an inch, and they have to like remove some of my fat layer. Ooh. Why'd you carry a real fucking gun? Like something that makes me go, oh shit, he's serious. Not something like, oh, I'm gonna like pop off Mexican fireworks. Pop up. I've come to a problem. I realized that like I'm funnier when I'm drunk, and which, oh man, that's such a hard problem to have. I'm on a show called the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. I sit in my house on a computer drinking booze, but then I realized that what's going to happen once this whole COVID thing clears up, you know? Like, that's a real concern for me because I can't fucking drink and drive. You know how expensive that is? I'm good with the actual ability of drinking and driving. Like, I've done it before. Like, allegedly, these are all jokes. Yes, the lovely assistant is agreeing with me. That's perfect. But like, just if I get caught, like, I can't fucking do anything. And someone's like, why didn't you just smoke weed? I'm like, because I'm a worse driver on weed. Like, I get all fucking paranoid. Like, I think every cop car behind me is gonna pull me over, which most likely they will. But I really need to figure this out. Or like I need to hire like an Uber driver, but I live in fucking Vermont. There's one Uber driver and he lives in fucking New Hampshire. Like, it'll take him an hour and 45 minutes to get to where I am to drive me 10 minutes to go somewhere. Or what if I have like a further away show, like an hour and a half away? Like, that's an expensive fucking Uber ride. Like, I mean, I guess it could be worth it if I get fucking paid, but no one in Vermont pays for comedy. like, oh, $20, fantastic. I can now go fucking eat at McDonald's on the dollar day. Get a large soda for $1. No wonder I have fucking diabetes. That's it for my week. Let's turn it over to Collen and see him rip some gnarly shreddage.
Woo. What's up, brah? Good to be on the show here. I just got off the mountain, if you can tell. Bunch of people up here from Boston right now skiing. You ever notice how everybody in Boston likes to compare themselves to Larry Bird? You ever notice that? Like, I don't do a very good Boston accent, you know? Like, a Boston accent to me sounds like, hey, brah, car, coffee. Meh. That's what Boston sounds like to me. So I'm not very good at that accent, but you hear a lot of people like who are from Boston be like, dude, me and Larry Bird, we're like the same fucking person, right? Like, for instance, we had the exact same fucking job as Garbage Man, but then he joined the NBA and I just never did. That's the only difference. We're exactly the same in every way, me and Bird, you know? I think it's funny to me that it's like everyone from Boston, like, you know, Boston's a racist city when they were like, our best fucking basketball player of all time was white. Like, oh, okay, I'm sure he was, you know. I don't know. There's a bunch of craziness. Talking about a bunch of stupid white people. Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk want to go to Mars. They're really all about this. Like, let's go to Mars. Let's go to Mars. Like, here's a radical idea. Let's clean the plastic out of the oceans. You know what I mean? Like, planet Earth needs like an Italian mother who's just going to be like, before you go fuck up another planet, how about you clean up the shit you already have? Why don't you take care of the planet you already have before you get another one? You know? Like, I just don't get that. It's like, to me, it's like I have like a friend who's like, oh man, we should go live on the moon. We should go live on Mars. And it's like, if the moon or Mars had the Caribbean, I would absolutely live there. But as long as those are on Earth, I'm probably going to stick to Earth for the time being. Like, I don't know if I just told you, I just was fucking shredding on the mountain. If I wanted to, I could get on a kayak and go kayak down the river in the backyard because we have water on this planet definitively. You know what I mean? There's nothing we have to do to enhance it. We actually have it in different states right now. Isn't that crazy? I was snowboarding, I got kayak, and now I can have a cup of tea. You know, or maybe just steam my face. I don't know. I think it's interesting right now that these guys who stormed the Capitol building are now facing like some really heavy charges, and they're all very sad, and they don't want to go to jail. And all of that story. You know, my feeling about it is you can't have it both ways, right? Like, I feel like the second I say anything about this country, feeling like, well, maybe we should have education be more affordable for the masses, or maybe we should have healthcare be more affordable for the masses. People jam down my throat, you know, oh, whoa, you're not entitled to that. You don't deserve stuff for free. It's like, I'm not saying free. I'm saying 40% of the money that you take from me out of every dollar I earn. Maybe if I could see some of that other than just the largest military budget in the history of the world, something, breadcrumbs, you know, would be nice. But like, it's always like the people that the second you have a conversation being like, could we use these trillions of dollars for something else? People are always like, oh, you're entitled. You don't know. This is the greatest country in the world. And then these same people go, we should kill our politicians. It's like, you can't be the greatest country in the world that's infallible and also murder the people trying to do their jobs running this country. You can't have it both ways. You gotta pick one side or the other. Does the country need work? And in which case we need to murder politicians? Okay. Is the country perfect? In which case we don't need to do anything. Like, there has to be a happy medium. And that happy medium is what we strive for every week here at the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. So, very excited to have Matt Vita on the show. And I will kick it over to the reason we all tune in here every week. Without further ado, Hickory the Drunk and Underwhelming.
Thank you guys for being here. We're gonna do another quick little card dealy. I'm gonna keep it short. This one's fun, and I made a prediction. We're gonna try this. Let's see. So I just wanted to show you guys that all the cards are in fact, different on that side. And I forgot about that card. So what I did was a prediction trick a couple days ago for a friend, and happened to leave that on there. So we'll just leave. That's the Queen of Spades. We're just gonna leave that as my prediction. And I'm just gonna stick it in my glasses here to make sure that I don't move it or anything. What we're gonna do is then I'm gonna have Vita pick a card, and we're gonna see if this thing works out. Basically, Matt, I'm just gonna riffle through here, and you say stop whenever you feel like saying stop. Right?
Stop.
Right there.
Yeah.
You feel good? You feel good about that selection?
Yeah.
Okay, so. Cut to the top. That card is, in fact, your card. Or maybe not. Maybe not. We'll find out. Okay.
All right.
So what we're going to do is wonder if Hickory got this right. Sometimes I don't. It's up for debate. But basically what we're going to do is take your card. Right? What I want to do is your card that was the prediction. We're going to take the back off there and move it onto the back of that card. So, yeah, just a shorty. I wanted to leave plenty of room for our good friend, Mr. Vita, the chancellor of the Zoom Boom, or I'm not sure what it's going to be called now that we're doing this on StreamYard, but please welcome to our spotlight stage our good friend, Mr. Matt Vita.
Yeah, all right. Oh, man, we're not on Zoom. We can't Zoom Boom anymore. The whole world's falling apart. I don't know. We're StreamYard. I don't got a song for that, so I guess I should quit. I don't know.
It's still Zoom Boom.
Okay, Zoom Boom. Hell yeah. Dude, guys, great to be back on the show. As you guys know, I've been living up in Vermont now for the last couple months, which is awesome because everybody up here hates everybody. Like all the locals fucking hate the out-of-towners. The out-of-towners hate the locals because they're so mean to them. The transplants are like, oh, I live here now too. I hate the out-of-towners too. The locals are like, fuck you, COVID transplant. Also, small businesses. You should support the small businesses. I don't know. I might get in the feeling like unless your dad's like a third generation fucking stick and your mom's a snow gun, it's like, go fuck yourself. I don't know. Everybody hates everybody, which is why I want to come out publicly on the show today to say that I love everybody.
Oh.
Except those assholes from Massachusetts. Fuck you. I don't know. Talking about shit that's fucked up. You guys heard of Facebook? You guys heard of this? You guys heard of this thing? Oh my gosh. Are you guys in the Killington's Locals Facebook page? You guys mess around with that thing?
No.
Oh my God. It's like, I would say the internet's the worst thing on the planet. Facebook's like the worst of the worst. And then like that group is like the worst of Facebook. So it's just like, it's unbelievable. Like people get so upset in that group about everything. So like a month ago, I was like, let me post something in that group that's like the most playful, innocuous, just like fun little joke. And I was like, I wonder if someone's going to find a way to get mad about this. So this is the post I made, like more or less verbatim. It was like, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but this needs to be said. Based on some of the rust-colored pee holes I've been seeing in the trees these past weeks, some of you guys need to hydrate better. Just a playful little ski joke for a fun little ski town. Getting a lot of likes and laughs. However, of course, true to form, one guy posts back. He's like, yeah, this is Vermont. We piss where we want. respond. So he doubled down. He commented then on his comment, "We piss where you vacation." I'm like, what, dude? Have you not peed in 2 years? I don't know. Another guy, so you guys remember the original post. Another guy's comment was, another triggered Biden voter. Like, what? I don't know. That's why I was telling you guys before the show started, I don't go on Facebook anymore. That's why. Especially like the old people, you get old people on Facebook, man. It's just like another level. That's why I'm trying to do like outreach. So actually, I just started a ski club for old farts. It's called Groomers for Boomers. The thing that sucks though is Vail actually just bought it from me. They changed the name to Moguls for Moguls.
Oh.
Yeah, now the lift ticket's $160 a day. Which is not a good joke because that's literally how much fucking Killington was charging this year. $160 a year. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. This next thing is not funny. I don't think any of you guys will think it's funny. Actually, maybe Collen will. But at Killington, the fucking old fucks, all right, I'm going to say it. They on a powder day, first chair, every old timer always loves to do this, man. Yeah, I'm heading over to Needles. Yeah, I'm just taking this one up one, straight over to Needles. I don't know. Okay, like I said, not funny.
Here's the joke. They never ride Needles.
Yeah, they're trying to just throw off the scent for us.
Yeah.
COVID transplants.
I'm gonna go ride Needles or maybe Great Eastern 3 times. I don't know. We'll see how it goes when I get up there. All right.
Oh man, my son was recently asking me like how to write a joke. So I was like telling him, like, one way you could start is like, pick something that pisses you off. So he's like, God for putting me on this earth. I'm like, what about the dishwasher? Right? You guys got dishwasher. You ever heard of these fucking things? Dishwashers? I mean, when I wash a dish, right? 2 seconds, the fucking dish is washed. This thing is going on for an hour and 20 minutes. What the fuck is it doing in there? Mining Bitcoins, I don't know. And before you put a dish in the dishwasher, what do you got to do? Rinse it and wipe it off. AK, wash the fucking dish. Like they say, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Well, guess what, GE? Same logic applies. Dishwashers don't wash dishes, people wash dishes. Also, I don't have a son. He died in the dishwasher. This is I think it's pretty good. Like we talk about like mental health now. Like people like talk about mental health. I think that's like pretty good. But I feel like mental health like kind of sold out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit used to be underground, man. Like that shit was like punk rock in high school. You know what I'm saying? I used to have like badass names. Used to be called like Manic Depression. Jimi Hendrix was our mascot. Now you go to the doctor. He's like, yeah, you're bipolar. It's like, yeah, I'm also bisexual, but who isn't these days? I don't know. When I was in high school, depression was like punk rock, and then like Good Charlotte showed up, and it was like, I'm out, dude. Got a couple of new impersonations I wanted to do for you guys. This first one, this is my impersonation of realizing that the person that I'm talking to is from Uruguay. You are G. You. Hey, why didn't I think of that earlier? I spelled it. Okay. This is my impersonation of the opening song at a really like hip technology summit. Okay. This is my impersonation of the opening song, like when like people are showing up. Let's talk about tech, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things. Technology. All right. This is the last one. This is my impersonation of Beavis. If he would take his like character work like a little more seriously, like, you know, instead of just like smoking weed with Butthead all the time, like if he would have applied himself and maybe like took a couple of Meisner classes and really just, you know, went after his dreams a little more. I am the great Cornholio. I need TP for my bumhole. Are you threatening me? Okay, that's that. All right, I'll leave you with this one little quick zing zang boom bang zoom boom boom. You guys realize that like COVID has turned hanging out with your friends into having sex, right? You know, you always ask me about, yo, dude, you've been tested? You've been tested, right? I feel like I'm always doing it behind my girlfriend's back, you know? And then when you're doing it, you're like, you know what, man? This sucks. All right, guys. That joke sucked. So I'm sorry to end on that one, but this is always a pleasure to be here. And I will reveal a pink striped shirt as my final joke.
Woo!
Woo! Nice. Thank you for being here with us, Mr. Vita. We appreciate it. It's always good to see you.
Always a pleasure, brother.
And G-Dubs, Collen, thanks for being here. Another great evening on the Drunken Under Quarantine show. Although we learned, as we'll learn later on in the show, we're not actually that drunk and underwhelming. We're just California sober. But without further ado, we're going to roll right into the first subject of the evening. We got a story here. Florida man is back, and that asshole's as confused as ever. So I don't know if everybody saw this article, but basically what happened is a Florida man, the greatest superhero that has ever lived, has he didn't receive his stimulus check, so he threw a smoke bomb outside of the Mar-a-Lago. Which brings me to my first question: is what do you guys think? Is this properly directed anger? Like I didn't get my stimulus check under the new administration, so I'm gonna throw a smoke bomb at the guy from the last administration lives. What the hell is going on in this country?
Well, I mean, I think that this is perfect logic following the fact that we are still blaming Obama for problems we have today. So this is like some good old-fashioned logic. It's like these people are a little slow to realize the administration's changed, you know? It'd be like 2 years into Trump's presidency where people were like, well, you know, it's Obama is the reason. It's like, yeah, well, that was 2 years ago. You know what I mean? So now we can imagine for another year and a half, you probably should expect any problems to be like, where's my check, Trump? Okay.
Here's my take on it is I think that the guy was actually pissed that Trump didn't win. So he was trying to do a smoke signal to like QAnon. You know, like, hey, Trump, we're gonna hook this and do a magical like Indian smoke signal, and you're gonna tell us what to do because I didn't get my stimmy. Which, by the way, I think everyone should call their stimulus the stimmy.
I like that.
My stimmy was so big. How big was it?
Just be careful with that shoulder in your stimmy, bro.
Yeah.
This is what I want to know, though. What color was the smoke? Because if it was one of those like yellow or like red, kind of fun smoke bombs, maybe he was really celebrating Trump. And maybe he got a previous stimulus check and he was mad. So he's like, let me throw like a nice festive yellow one to the yellow man, or orange, I guess would have been a more appropriate color. So I want to know the color of the smoke bomb before I make full judgment on this.
Can you imagine if it was red and the last thing the guy was like videotaped doing, he was like, MAGA for life.
Let's find out. The article says Florida man upset with former President Donald Trump's administration was arrested on Sunday for throwing a smoke bomb at Mar-a-Lago, the former president's residence. They said stimulus checks going out over the weekend as part of President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion relief package. Not receiving one reportedly irked Paul Rocks Jr., a West Palm Beach resident. While driving by former president's home, he threw a smoke bomb out the window and later admitted to it during a conversation with Palm Beach detective Christopher Barber. Rawls spoke on his financial struggles and disdain for the former administration because he had not received a stimulus check from the government this weekend. So,
let's just, for those of you at home who didn't just understand entirely what Kyle just read, a man living in West Palm Beach, Florida, was unhappy with his quote-unquote financial situation. And as he drove by Mar-a-Lago, arguably the most expensive estate in West Palm Beach, and they didn't say what car was it. Was it a Carrera 99 G2? Like, what was the car? Like, this guy was so financially distressed about. He was probably driving, I'm going to say, Audi R8. What is this? It's like, as he drove by in his, like, brand new sports car with a top down, he was like, fuck you, Trump. Where's my $1,400? Like,
yeah, dude, but actually, wait, that was Rawls? Because that's actually, if you look it up, that's the same guy that, like, 6 years ago, he drove by Obama's house and threw a stink bomb because he lost his health insurance. So
this guy is like the king of comedy callbacks, is what you're saying, Matt.
Yeah.
He's killing.
You know what's really funny is that joke the feds have been playing recently, which is called "You go to jail for 10 to 30 years." That's a great punchline they came up with recently that they seem to keep saying.
It's one of those slow burns.
Yeah, it's a slow burn. Might take you 10 to 30 years to recognize humor in it, but you'll get there.
So it continued to say in the article, basically, military veteran Rawls also spoke with Barber, who was the police officer, I believe, also about the struggles he had since being discharged, and told the detectives he knew. This article makes no sense. MSN, get some fucking editors. Around 1:30 p.m. on Sunday, Secret Service agents responded to a smoking and smoldering device in front of the Mar-a-Lago and used security footage to identify the vehicle. Mar-a-Lago, once referred to as the Winter White House, becomes Trump's full-time residence. The device, which they identified as an incendiary device called the 5-minute white smoke.
That explains it right there.
Yeah,
all right. I was wrong. It wasn't yellow.
I've been trying to tell smoke to be less white for a while now. They caused a 2-vehicle crash as the driver attempted to avoid it. He also told the officer there was nothing about the car accident, but he knew the, quote, real reason, unquote, that the detective was calling him and agreed to come to the police department. At the time the device went off, it was unknown if any other devices had been planted. The Palm Beach Sheriff's Office bomb squad responded to the scene. During a search of his vehicle, officers found 4 additional white smoke devices, 4 flares, 12-foot handheld expandable hook, black gloves, nylon rope, and 9 smoke bombs. Rawls was arrested on Sunday and charged with disorderly conduct, criminal mischief, and throwing a destructive device. My God. Yeah, it's probably because it was white smoke. I think.
Yeah.
I love the idea of Rawls just being like, why do you have said objects in the back of the car? And he's like, I'm on my way back from the grocery store. Like this seems like a lot of mass and bombs and ropes just to go grocery shopping.
Like, yeah, you don't pick up a 12-foot expandable grappling hook every time you're at the grocery store.
Yeah,
The fuck are you doing with your life?
Oh, and
Costco, you had to go to the higher shelf.
I disagree with Colin. He was saying that it was an R8 or Aldi. No, this was a 1998 Chevy Tahoe.
Probably with a lift.
Rebuilt a couple times. Like this thing was a piece of shit. And I also want to say it's okay to be a white smoke bomb. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's the next 4chan campaign.
I was waiting for just to see like our feed just shut down as soon as I said that.
That's okay.
I love the logic though of like throwing this thing, and then the guy gets pulled over, and they're like, "Why'd you just throw that bomb?" And he's like, "Why did I lose my health care?" Like, I just love this logic. You know?
The irony of the fact that he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm having financial struggles, so I spent money on explosives to throw out the window of my car."
I spent my last $9,000 on explosives, right?
It's like,
He didn't spend money on them. He made them with chemicals you find at Home Depot.
so which means
Like
he
the
still
whole
had to
time
spend
he
money
just
to build them, though, right?
No, you steal the shit from Home
Oh,
Depot.
okay.
Home Depot.
Oh, this makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
You didn't even have to go in and use the 12-foot hook. He
grabbed that shit in the parking lot.
Came in through the ceiling at night when they were closed. It's dropped in like he was in Mission Impossible.
Loss prevention is like, how are we losing all these chemicals?
Like, well, it's too bad they sell these grappling hooks online.
I love this shit. Like this guy sitting at home, like making homemade like explosives, being like, "I'll show you not to give me my $1,400 before 60% of the country hasn't fucking received them."
I hope he gets like a personal note when he gets his stimmy. It's just like, "Hey man, really sorry for the delay."
Well, you know what I would do is I would do a little reverse terrorism. I'd send him his stimulus checks with anthrax in it. You know, two can play at this game. Here's your stimulus check from Department of Homeland Security.
It's a scratch and sniff.
Yeah.
And sniff.
Money well spent, that would be. Move right into the next topic. I saw this article. I don't know if you guys had seen it, and I wanted to bring this up on this show since both Matt and Colin spend a good amount of their time in New York. But there is the EMTs keep getting attacked in New York City. Have you guys seen coverage on this? Just curious, as a New York resident. Okay, so I'll pull up.
New York Post had an article about this.
Yep, actually, that's the one I'm pulling up. They say that 52. This woman was bit by a teenager this past weekend. They say that over 50 colleagues of a New York City pandemic have been bitten in the face. Over 50 colleagues of New York City pandemic who was bitten in the face have suffered in attacks. And I was talking about the craziness. I understand the sentiment of defunding the police and how people think that's a good idea, but what the fuck are we doing attacking EMTs?
Well, I mean, I think Matt will probably agree with this. It's always been kind of customary if you're fearing for your life and someone saves you, you just take a chunk out of their face. It's kind of old school, but it's still a practice. Maybe it's coming back. Maybe we haven't seen this for a little while. But you go for the flesh, you Hannibal Lecter something out of their face or cheek, and that's really just the way things go. No, I think that this is probably speaks volumes to the mental health of the emotionally disturbed peoples in New York, which we've all seen. I'm sure Vita's had one of these people probably grab his balls at one point or another. My point is the New York Post is trying to make this seem like this is like a reoccurring issue. And like there's some analytics of being like, well, we saw one person get bit in the face and now we've seen 50. And they're like, if this trend continues at this exponential rate over the course of the next 5 years, every single person in New York will have their face bit.
Yeah, they do say here, if the disturbing trend continues, more than 200 EMTs and paramedics will suffer similar battle scars this year. A 43% surge from the 140 assaulted in 2020 while doing a job that is inherently dangerous.
It's making this shit up.
Yeah, like, oh, it might get there. You know, it might. If
I had $1 million, I'd be a millionaire, but I ain't writing a fucking article about that, you know?
It said EMTs are dealing with more individuals' mental health issues due to COVID lockdown. In the past year, of people not being able to go out about their daily routine has taken a toll on many, which I would agree. I think you're right on the point that it relates directly back to the mental health issue and the fact that humans are not supposed to live in a small apartment in a city that smells like sour milk. Would you guys agree?
Wait, so you're saying New York City smells like my balls?
I don't know. I think Collen and Vita would be the ones.
As somebody who spent a lot of amount of time near both. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is terrible. And actually, when you sent me this article, I got a little upset because one of my best buddies is actually an EMT. So I was like, damn. But I did a little more research, and it's not as bad as the article is making it out, because basically it was a seamless accident gone wrong. She had ordered a BLT, so when the EMT showed up, she just took a bite out of it because she thought it was supposed to be a BLT.
Wait, that's an emergency, not bacon.
That is totally an appropriate response to that.
And this is why I'm skeptical about this. You know what I mean?
But I mean, like, sometimes, you know, they send the wrong thing. You still eat it, right? Like one time I ordered a chicken burrito, I got a beef burrito, I still bit it. She ordered a BLT, got an EMT, she still bit it. I get it. You know?
That reminds me of that one time I got a prostitute.
And then room service showed up, and GW just went to town. That's why he has a record.
I'm hungry. This actually reminds me of the NWA song "Fuck the EMTs." Or EMTs coming straight from the underground. I'm not going to finish the rest of that.
That's a very good point, G-Dub. I would love to see like cops being like, "I arrested him and I was going to shoot him, but the fucker bit me."
Although I do feel bad for this awful incident. Said in the horrific March 5th accident, Jenna Pastelio, I'm sorry for butchering your name, Jen, 28, who started as an EMT and became a paramedic in 2019, was bitten in the face in Brooklyn after she and her crew responded to a call with a patient with, quote, altered mental status. He's probably California sober. Pastelio said 17-year-old girl was trying to run out of the house and kept falling. But she said the teen was not threatening until first responders tried to get her onto a stretcher. So this sounds like an issue that maybe shouldn't have been handled by an EMT. Just saying. She, quote, she just wrapped her legs around my torso, her arms around my neck, and just took a nice big chomp out of my face, Pastello said, or recounted. She was like on me for almost a minute. It felt like eternity.
Can I just say that sounds exactly like fanfic I've wrote?
I was going to say this sounds a lot like the Walking Dead fantasy fic I'm reading.
I want her to talk more because I am getting super horny.
Yeah, I hear you.
Ice that shoulder, man.
Oh yeah, he's got to ice the shoulder, get back in the game.
I'm like old school Nolan Ryan.
He's like constantly getting ready for a fight.
I may not win, but you're not going to lose either.
Before we move on, G-Dubs, was that today? Did you get your first shot today?
No, I got it yesterday.
Okay.
That's the worst part about it.
How was it the first day? Was it pretty bad?
No, it was fine. It kind of grew on me.
And was this Pfizer one?
Yes.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that's the only one we have around here, just because that's the only fucking vaccine I've heard of anybody getting up here.
Johnson & Johnson's in Vermont as well.
Oh, okay.
And Moderna has been, but not as prevalent as Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson. Right now, that's almost on a every other day right now in Vermont. I would
Yeah.
say.
Okay. I'm gonna say every single person I know that's been vaccinated so far has been a Pfizer shot, which
I
is
know
only like 6 or 7 people.
Rutland Regional's using Pfizer.
That's probably
So, and they're the one who did it.
so
By the way,
Scotney, I'm pretty sure they're doing Pfizer.
It's based off of what we get in because the shelf life is very short. So it's like it varies day to day, week to week.
Awesome. Anything else before we move on to the next topic, guys?
I just want to say is I never realized I would get shot up in Rutland.
Willingly.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
And not have to pay for it, you know?
Yeah. Thanks, Obama.
It's been a while.
Did you throw a smoke bomb at him when they shot you? Did you do?
There was a fucking sheriff there, which made me go, wait, who's rushing the fucking gate to get in to get their Pfizer shot?
I don't know, man. If you saw the South Park vaccination special, you know that there's plenty of people dressing up in costumes and shit trying to get in. I don't know if that's actually happening, but it sounds totally legitimate to me. I wouldn't be surprised. We'll move right into the next subject of the evening, which is, I don't know if you guys saw this too, the cops found Hickory's next handgun. This one is definitely on the birthday list. So if you guys were looking to get me something for a belated birthday gift, I'd definitely take this. And this thing is fucking awesome. So this deputies in North Carolina sees a firearm altered to look like a Nerf gun. So here on the right-hand side, that's just the gun itself. And then this is like a device that the gun goes into. And that is it together. And my first thought was, are they advertising? Because I want one of these really bad, man. That blue and orange Glock looks so good. But yeah, they just said that deputies in Catawba, I don't know. This town was named by, or county was named by a drunk person. So that when you say it drunk, you don't sound fucked up when you say it. I think the Catawba County office, sheriff's office says firearms being seized during a drug bust aren't new. Finding guns with illicit drugs is common, and deputies typically find multiple firearms, but says the gun they seized on Wednesday is alarming, though admittedly not illegal. As any gun owner knows, you can put whatever paint you want on your gun. CCSO said they handled a search warrant at the home, an old Catawba Road in Catawba from Hickory PD and PD Wednesday, March 13th. The search turned up cocaine, psilocybin mushrooms, and weed, along with $2,300 in cash, which sounds like they got 2 stimuluses early and spent a little bit on their firearm. 20 firearms, including pistols, rifles, and shotguns, were also seized, and most notable was the Glock 19, which was pictured above. And I'm pretty sure somewhere there's a picture of this whole haul. But
can I just ask who is selling that, and can you fire the Glock with it in the Nerf gun?
Yes. So I should have done a little more research and looked it up before the show, but that the gun that the structure that the handgun goes into is a separate structure that is sold, and I wish I remembered what they were called, but they have a very specific name, and it's basically just a shroud for the handgun. So that part is not a firearm. It does not fire on its own. It's just a weapons accessory, and then it looks like he modified it and painted it. I don't think this was a gun shop purchase. I think this was like some guy trying to be artistic.
Good for him.
Yeah. What do you guys think? You think this? It's nothing new, right? I was actually going to bring it up that we've been hiding since the invention of the firearm. Humans have been hiding firearms in everything, right? It used to be canes, cell phones, a car antenna. We used to hide swords inside canes. And what do you think? What do you guys think? This crazy, or is this just happens to be crazy because they found this one?
Here's why I don't think it's crazy, because it's in North Carolina, which is in the South, where they have a lot of honor going on. So they still have duels. And the guy who owns it goes, all right, next time I'm in a duel, I'm going to say, bring your Nerf gun. And when I bring my Nerf gun, I'm going to pull out this Glock and shoot the motherfucker.
Thaddeus wrote in, he said, yeah, MCX is kind of a loophole. Is that the name of the device, Thad? That's the question. Is that
All I'm going to say is I don't think we should hate on this guy for being strapped and fabulous, okay? So
Right.
I think more people should be painting their guns.
You know, I think that's a very nice, just the Glock set aside, I think that's a very nice New York Knicks, New York Mets kind of color right there. If it came in pinstripe, I'm sure that would be very nice, big seller in the Bronx. Now, as far as the Nerf goes, is there a little confusion when you go out with your friend and he says, ha ha, pop, pop, I hit you with the Nerf, and then you go out and you go, pop, pop, ha ha, I hit you with the fucking disguised Glock, motherfucker. You know, this is a joke that was funny when we were kids, might not be funny anymore. I don't know.
This is the actual accessory. It's called the MCK. So as you guys can see, the Glock itself just kind of slides into this thing. It's got an extra spot for a pistol holder up front. And they've got them in a bunch of configurations on their website, but they're about $250. And so, yeah, what happened was this guy just bought this thing and painted his handgun. So, yeah, that clears that up. And I also
what I would like to see is the conversion into the Nintendo original Duck Hunter gun.
Oh, well, that's
nice.
I happen to have that pulled up right here because I've wanted one of these goddamn things.
Absolutely.
Forever. Let me bring up the better one. This has actually been one of those things that's been on Hickory's I wish I had this list for a while. And this right here. God damn it. I keep selecting the wrong one.
I mean, in an ideal world, me and Hickory drive around in a DeLorean that looks like the time machine, dressed up as Marty and Doc, shooting this pistol out of the front and driver's seat.
That right there, my friends, is a beautiful photo of the Nintendo Zapper made out of a Glock 17. So that is something that I knew about at least 5 or 6 years ago. This is nothing new to the market, but pretty fun. That said, bigger issues. The Glock can hold 33 rounds, which is kind of a rifle, which in Vermont are capped 15 rounds. No, Thad, I'm sorry to correct you, but rifles are capped at 10 rounds in Vermont. Handguns have the exception to go up to 15.
Yeah, take that, Thad.
Really revealing myself here as the wand master, I guess, because I've been in love with wands since I was a little boy. But yeah, this thing is pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I've wanted one of these. I like this one. It's got the Glock Tendo.
Beautiful.
Cal right there. Somebody modified that. Pretty good. But yeah, what do you guys think? You think this is like you think that's newsworthy that some random guy like painted his gun? Or you think like it's only really news because like it scares normal people who don't know anything about firearms or how they function?
Well, what I'm confused by is where do these people think that this is all of a sudden poses a threat, as far as like, what's this guy gonna waltz into a bank and then say, all of a sudden, everyone put your hands up, I got a Nerf gun. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, you know, or like, oh, you want my wallet? Too bad, I got this Nerf gun, sucker. Like that's I don't think that's gonna work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny myself. Matt, what do you think? You think that's a pretty handgun, or do you not like the idea?
Collen nailed it. I was getting flashbacks to my childhood at Shea Stadium. So I would like to see Hojo up to at the plate and me with that shooting wee, maybe Dow Strawberry blowing a couple lines in the outfield. I'm sure he would have liked to get his hands on that at some point.
And Matt gets in because he says, "I'm just with Dad at the game with my Nerf gun." You know what I
mean? Yeah, you still don't have to go through like a metal detector or anything. They just,
We're calling shit, you know?
yeah, you have a dart on you? Okay, as long as you have no darts, we'll let you right in. You really put somebody's eye out with those. Thad replied, he said, Nintendo I get, Nerf kind of tricky. Yeah, possibly. He says, I don't know what the difference is. I think that's a scary slope, saying that guns have to be like certain colors and stuff, personally. But who knows? I don't know. You guys have anything else before we move on to the next subject?
I want one in original Sega Genesis colors.
Oh, that would be good. I wonder if there's I bet you somebody has produced one. I'm willing to bet there's a. Well, maybe not. I'll have to look around for that because I'm definitely curious if there is one. But we're going to move right into the next subject. Thad said, well, they repainted the old Zapper from gray to orange. Yeah, but less than lethal shotguns are orange, and those are state sanctioned. So next subject, we're going to talk about the White House staff was let go over past marijuana use. Come on, man.
Bullshit.
I know. Did you guys see this article? I thought this was like the stupidest thing I've seen in quite a while. Especially because I felt like there was a good amount of pro-marijuana stuff in the election run. But right here from NBC News, they say 5 staffers get let go over marijuana use. White House says the firings came despite the Biden administration's efforts to balance federal hiring guidelines with state legalization laws. And here is a gorgeous photoshopped image of like, I don't know, 40,000 cubes. How many do you think are there? I think this is photoshopped, but I'm not entirely sure.
It would have to be.
Well, that looks like Ontario.
Is that marijuana growing in a Lego box?
Young cannabis plants inside a grow room in Leamington, Ontario, Canada on January 13th, 2021. Which means they're growing a shitload of weed up in Canada, apparently.
No doubt.
Because it's legal there.
They said that the Biden administration said Friday that it had terminated 5 White House staffers over marijuana use as it tries to balance federal laws and hiring guidelines with the drug's legalization in numerous states. We announced a few weeks ago that the White House had worked with the Security Service to update the policies to ensure that past marijuana use wouldn't automatically disqualify staff from serving in the White House, said Circle Back girl Jen Psaki, linking an initial NBC report on the changed guidelines. As a result, more people will serve who would not have in the past with the same level of recent drug use. The bottom line is, of hundreds of people hired, only 5 people who have started working at the White House are no longer employed as a result of the policy. Several others with a history of cannabis use are working remotely while they undergo suitability reviews, the White House acknowledged. What do you guys think? You think this is silly?
I think it's bullshit.
I agree.
Here's my thing. Like, I get it that it's still a Schedule 1 drug considering the federal government, but come on. Really? Like, you have, like, Vermont, how many fucking states are legal now?
Like almost the majority, right? Like
well,
we're getting up there, or at least
for
retail. I'm gonna say I almost feel like, and this is a whole nother debate. I actually ask you guys what you think. That the difference between decriminalization and legalization is that if it's legalized, Uncle Sam's taking his cut. Is that it's a direct control by the government as opposed to having one-on-one sales. So I don't know. I'm stuck between privatization and legalization myself.
Well, you know, I mean, this is my question: is GW?
Yes.
If you were the president of the United States, don't you think
you voted for me?
Well, let's just say you get the vote, you're in office, you have the job. Don't you think you're stoned a majority of the time?
You would have to be.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So to come in here and say, oh, blah, 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 it's do what I do, do what I say, don't do what I do. You know what I mean? So my thought is that if anybody ever asks me if I smoke marijuana, the answer is absolutely not. I never would, never have, never would, ever. And that's why Collen Doyle is fit to be the president of the United States, even though that job probably requires me to be stoned most of the time.
Matt, what are you thinking? You got any thoughts on this one?
So, not to be a contrarian, but actually, I was offered the job of president, but since I refused to smoke marijuana, they said no. They said I couldn't be the president because I was unwilling. They wanted me to do gravity bong hits. I had not known what that was. So I said, no, I cannot serve my country. I apologize.
So we got a couple comments in here, and I've been holding off that. I'm sorry. I've been holding off because I didn't want to spoil it. He brought up, did you see the meme talking about KH admitting to tokage? He then said, Kamala Harris, not Kyle Hickory. Yeah, I've heard that fat asshole smoke some weed. I'm talking about Hickory, not Kamala. She's a very, very beautiful leader who, if she needs somebody to run the camps, I'm there. He said, I thought the Fed was motioning towards decrim. That's what I was under the impression too.
Which, can you imagine, Thaddeus, if you worked and like you had these people working to decriminalize, but you were one of the people who put the people to work to decriminalize, but then you got fired because you had smoked weed.
So
it's like, you know what I mean? It's like a feedback loop, you know?
So I wanted to share this little quick clip since he brought that up. This is a clip of Kamala Harris on The Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God. And I don't want to get copyright struck, so we're only gonna play like a 5-second clip. But here we go. You guys ready?
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay. Like
I inhaled. I did inhale.
Okay.
It was a long time ago.
Harris explained.
So there's a clip. I'm wondering if this is going to extend to Vice President Harris. You guys think they're going to ask her to step down her position for her past marijuana use?
She is such a fucking hypocrite, and she put away how many fucking people in California when she was state's attorney for drug crimes.
Don't worry, GW. It's a much funnier joke when you're in prison and you hear that.
Yeah.
Trust me, it just hits a little bit harder when she's like, I did inhale.
Yeah.
You were sitting in there for 10 years. I inhaled. How you like them apples? Like,
which is ironic because that's it's like a callback to Bill Clinton, right? It was the I inhaled part was a callback to.
Well, exactly. Well, what Clinton said is he didn't inhale.
Oh, I think I got. Hold on, let me.
Clinton said he had smoked weed, but he didn't inhale. So how'd you smoke that weed there, Bill? What'd you do?
Like a cigar. You just.
Yeah. He just let that little blunt just kind of salivate in the mouth, you know.
And then blew it out. Yeah.
And then blew it out. Yeah.
Yeah, this was actually in the same video, actually. Thank you, WAPO, for putting this together perfectly for me.
With marijuana a time or two, and I didn't like it. And didn't inhale, and never tried it again.
So 40.
You're fucking.
I gotta be honest with you. It's like, to me, that's why I liked Obama. Because Obama was the type of man that if you got alone and you said to him, have you smoked weed? He'd go, I've smoked weed all the time. And did you enjoy it? Absolutely.
Choices.
That's a vote you can believe in.
Yeah, this is actually Obama's comment on it as well.
Got high without always thinking about the harm that it could do. I don't like it.
And I was like, yeah, I got high.
Obama said in one of his books that his nickname was Iron Lungs. And Chicago,
Isn't that one of the Wu-Tang members?
I think it's in Dreams of My Father. He says marijuana was common, and he says that it was never hard to find cocaine. And he's actually the first president who's admitted in publication that I know of to doing cocaine, even though we all know George Jr. was a raging cokehead.
Yeah. Like, why would
he never said he was. Actually, at one point they said, "Mr. President, we have this, someone who said that you did a lot of cocaine," and George looked at the camera and went, "I'm not going to answer that question." Okay. Obama's like, "I did do cocaine. Moving on. Next question."
So, can I answer Thad?
Yes. Feel free to.
So Thad goes, like a cigar, what he put up in his aid, that was Monica Lewinsky.
Yes.
And let me just say, first off, let me be clear when I say Kamala Harris is a fucking hypocrite. Bill Clinton is a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want people to think that, like, I'm picking on Kamala Harris because she's a woman or a woman of color. Bill Clinton is also a fucking hypocrite. And the fact that it has taken how many years before this conversation, we need to come out and legalize marijuana.
Agreed.
It has been too fucking long, and the fucking DEA is getting so much fucking money to prosecute these fucking crimes. By the way, I'm drunk and I'm on a drunk rant, so I apologize, guys.
I think to just further your drunk rant here, G-Dub, one of the things that I think is present that kind of presents itself to me when you think of the hypocrisy of both of these high office positions that say that they've smoked marijuana, right?
Yeah.
This to me is the difference between the cocaine and crack epidemic in the 80s, right? Your cocaine was for your affluent whites, your crack was for the poor black. And you were able to basically say, listen, if you're doing cocaine, we're going to have a lesser approach to this than if you were to smoke crack because you're smoking the cheaper drug. Whether or not you're black, white, Hispanic, whatever, you were poor. It was poorer. It was a poorer drug. And I think with marijuana is one of those things where whether or not you openly embrace it, you in closed doors of all socioeconomic levels in this country, everyone enjoys marijuana. But the difference is the difference when it's a person of position of privilege enjoying that marijuana versus someone who's of a downtrodden position enjoying that marijuana. Now that's a crime. It's the most ambiguous drug like that, where if you're of a high social status, Elon Musk smokes weed on Joe Rogan, it's all fun and games. A black person does that in the wrong time, here in jail. You know what I mean? So it's a hypocrisy.
Colin, Jason commented and said, testify. That is says nice analogy, Colin.
I agree fully with that. And sorry, just saw Jason's last comment. And I agree fully. I don't think that we should be punishing people for a fucking weed that grows in the ground. If they're being safe, which is my big thing, is I'd rather be safe than sorry. But if they're doing it in the fucking comfort of their own home, who the fuck cares? And it, like, how many fucking states is it legal in?
Not
or
enough, quite a few. Before we move into the last topic, I would like to. A friend just sent me this. This gets breaking news. Breaking news: people are fucking stupid. So EJ, thank you for sending this to my DMs during the show. God damn it! The more we talk about this, the more I agree with.
God bless that fellow.
But we're running a little bit over. Matt, you're good, right? We're not like you don't have anywhere to be.
Nah, I gave up the presidentship, so I'm cool.
Okay. We're going to move on to our last topic. Demi Lovato. And what the fuck is California sober? Because I recently learned that this show might be California sober, which means we might need to find something harder than beer. But we do have this article. I'm going to pull it up. This is the New York Post, of course. It says Demi Lovato says she's, quote, California sober, but what does that mean? They say in the wake of her near fatal heroin and fentanyl overdose in 2018, Demi Lovato has described her moderate drinking and cannabis use addiction recovery as being called, quote, California sober. The 28-year-old pop star was asked to talk about her return to the limelight following almost a decade of struggle with addiction. During an interview with Tracy Smith on CBS Sunday Morning, Lovato has endured 2 highly publicized relapses and suffered 3 strokes and a heart attack. At 28, holy shit. During that time, details of which she shared in her forthcoming YouTube documentary, Dancing with the Devil. Lovato has talked about her current stage of recovery with CBS's Smith, asked her to elaborate on the, quote, moderation, unquote, approach to recovery. So you're doing what they call moderation, I guess, right? So you're drinking, smoking a little bit of weed. Is that fair to say? Yeah, I think the term that I best identify with is California sober, said Lovato at her Los Angeles home with Smith last week. I really don't feel comfortable explaining the parameters of my recovery to people because I don't want anyone to look at my parameters of safety and think that's what works for them, because it might not. She continued, I am cautious to say, just like I feel the complete abstinent method isn't a one-size-fits-all solution for everybody, I don't think this journey of moderation is a one-size-fits-all solution for everybody too. Yet some viewers were critical, of course. What do you guys think about California sober? You think that's a term we should start using? Or
I fucking love it.
Me too.
Let me be honest when I say I fucking love Demi Lovato. Like as the fucking punk metal hardcore kid in the group, I know Hickory has some fucking challenge to that title, but I fucking love Demi Lovato, and anything that she does is fucking gold.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say, Demi Lovato, fucking 100. We love everything you do. You don't know shit about sobriety. Let me just call this out, okay? You don't go from being addicted to heroin and fentanyl. Like, her sobriety plan seems like something a heroin junkie would come up with, okay? Like, she's like, listen, we're giving up the heroin and the fentanyl, but we're still going to be California sober, okay? And we can still drink, and we can still get fucked up. Like, what she's calling California sober is what everyone else in California is calling California fucked up. Okay, he's the only one who's looking at this lifestyle as being a sober lifestyle. Everyone else is drunk and fucking smoking weed, and they're like, I'm California fucked right now.
I'm California depressed because of COVID, drinking every day and smoking a bunch of weed.
Exactly. I'm not, this isn't sober. I mean, only a heroin addict would be like, being drunk and stoned all day is a sober life. You know what I mean?
I will just call back to Jason's comment that still works. It's easy, okay?
This is easy, okay?
Here's the thing, like, California sober is easy when you fucking done mainline fucking heroin. Like I get it. I fucking get it. I fucking understand, like, the whole idea of, like, oh yeah, no, I'm not on hard substances.
Yeah.
Like I'm not doing fucking peyote in a fucking woods.
Yeah. It's all relative, right? You're like, yeah. Listen, mate, I didn't fucking shoot fucking heroin in my neck this morning. I drank a fucking fifth of vodka. Fucking sue me. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, this isn't really apples to apples, is it? You know what I mean?
No. Well, and to fucking go back and hold on, GW stepping on his fucking soapbox for a second. Fucking let's go back to the fucking criminalization of illegal substances with the federal government. Like fucking heroin, cocaine, and marijuana are all in the same fucking class A fucking fucking group, and they're not. Like the whole idea of being California sober, you're not doing the fucking hard drugs. Like let's fucking
But, I just don't know if that works. You go to your parole officer and they're like, how are you doing with the heroin? And be like, I'm doing well, mate. I've just switched to these 25 fucking spliffs a day. Seems to be getting the edge off. It's like, that's not really sobriety. That's not the sober living we're looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's also like I saw, and I almost brought it up on the show tonight, is that the other irony of them firing all the staffers for smoking weed back in the day is I don't know if you guys are aware of who Chef Andre Rush is. He was the former White House chef. Like he is no longer anymore. But,
he was until he decided to get high when he was a senior in high school.
Oh no! This is Andre Rush. This guy is on a pile of gear.
Yeah, clearly someone who spends more time smoking weed than working out.
Like no joke. This guy is probably taken more injections than most diabetics in the country, but nobody ever raised a single question about that.
No,
not that I am. And I want to be clear. I think hormones should be perfectly legal for people of anybody over the age of 18 to use. But it just seemed funny that that this guy's
literally got a steroid shot sticking out of his ass right now.
Look at these arms, man. Like, there's no way anybody's looking at this guy walking around the White House and being like, "Oh yeah, that guy passed his drug test."
Yeah,
he's a fucking.
This guy makes a mean corn on the cob, and also if he got you in a headlock, would pop your fucking head off your shoulder.
Like the asinineness of them kicking people out for smoking weed when that was like the head chef of the White House for 10 years.
But this is the thing. The reason America doesn't want anyone in office smoking weed is because if you smoked weed, you'd be like, you know what? We probably shouldn't bomb Syria. Period.
We shouldn't.
You know what I mean? The whole industrial military complex comes to part at the seams when you're high. You know what I mean?
This is true.
Really, guys? Should we really fucking war, or we should maybe just try to work this out?
I actually think Joe Rogan had a great bit about peace in the Middle East, of how you just crop dust everybody with marijuana smoke from crop dusters, and then you drop in care packages of mushrooms. And like 3 weeks later, everybody would be like, "Man, what the fuck are we doing?"
Exactly. Like, they're just hugging each other, crying, like, "No, I love you. No, I love you." Like, wow, that really de-escalated quickly.
You got something to say, G-Dubs?
No, I was just saying that's fucking fantastic, and I think that we should be doing shit like that. And why the fuck are we even in the Middle East anyways? Like, besides oil, we have enough fucking oil.
It's a very good question, my friend. A couple questions. Jason commented and said, what's the Vermont way, GW?
Legalize pot. Let us fucking sell it. Let us take fucking tax revenue from it. Put that towards the schools and the roads. No. Fuck the schools. Put it towards the roads.
Amen. Because our roads suck.
And tell them that these kids are going to be Vermont sober.
Like that Rolling Stone cover. Oh, God. Man, so many people were pissed off about that. I want to leave. This is going to be the last comment we read on air because this was really, really good. It's a 3-part comment from Thad. He says, I got fired because I got, I almost said it. It said, I had a job running the country. I got fired because I got high. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Because I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high. I was going to lead America.
Then I got high. Oh, I had a nice job lined up with Biden, but then I got high. I was supposed to be Secretary of Department. Then I got high. Now I know why. Because I got high. Because I got high. We got to stop. We're too good. We might pick up the copyright claim.
Matt, is there anything you want to say before we get on out of here, sir?
I'm going to check out Demi Lovato's music this evening. I've been inspired.
Can Matt, let me just say, it is fucking. There is so many songs that I would be like, check this out. Stone Cold.
Okay.
Check out Stone Cold.
Stone Cold California Sober?
Yes.
I mean, I just kind of wonder though if she's gonna follow down a similar career path as like Amy Winehouse, who was like, they told me to go to rehab, and I said fuck you, and then she was dead after that.
Yeah.
So maybe you should have listened to all those people who said go to fucking rehab. I don't know.
She's already past the fucking 27 club, so
Yeah.
she's good.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
She made it to 28. That's a good point.
Before we get out of here, Matt, any plugs you wanna lay out? Anything coming up? Anything you're doing?
I got another show Thursday. I've been doing, my buddies run this show, Good One Comedy, and they asked me, I've been doing every show now. So I usually do some sort of weird musical thing. But this Thursday, I'm going to be hosting and doing weird musical thing. And that show's every other Thursday. So yeah, check it out. You guys follow them. If you guys ever want to do the show, I probably could get you guys on.
Where do we? Whose page does it stream to?
What do they do? The Zoom Boom Boom. I think it's a Zoom Boom Boom, and I think they do it on Facebook. They stream it on Facebook. But it's called Good One Comedy.
Does it go onto your Facebook, or do we?
I will share it usually before the show.
Nice.
Yeah, if you check it out, check out the past one. Give those dudes a follow. Good guys, fun show.
Nice.
Yeah, and if you guys ever want to do a set, I'm sure they'll have you on at some point.
And follow Matt Vita at Big Dog NY1, or as I like to read, Big Dogney.
Big Dogney. I miss Big Dogney.
Every time I see it, I give Big Dogney. I was like, it's a weird whatever. Go with it. G-Dubs, anything you got to say? And plugs?
The Give Them the Iggy podcast is coming out. Check anchor.fm or wherever you do podcasting. So that should be coming out
soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay. I can't wait to hear it. Collen, anything you got to get off your chest, and then plugs?
I don't.
Okay.
Thank you, Matt, for being on the show. We are currently focusing on trying to look at programming both in person here and in New York. April looks like that might be an opportunity for that. So stay tuned. But the light's at the end of the tunnel, and look forward to seeing you guys all in person very soon.
Amen. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. Of course, follow GW Foley at foleykills on the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the parlors, and wherever else. Vita's a Big Dog NY1 or Big Dog NY1. I love that. You're gonna start saying that on your channel. Great. And at Collen D and at Woolen Mill Comedy Club. At Collen D, if you want to follow him and see what he's doing, but also Woolen Mill Comedy Club. You want to see what we're planning at the club, because we're going to be back at a point soon where you guys might be able to come see us in person, which would be pretty fucking awesome. I, of course, am Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming. You can find me at HickoryTDAU on all the places, the Instagrams, the parlors, the Facebooks, the YouTubes, the TikTok. And next season, it's looking like we might be on some podcasting platforms. So that'll be cool. And yeah, thank you guys for being here. G-Dubs, Collen, Matt, it's always good to see you. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you guys. And I'm glad you guys are getting the most out of that mountain up there. That's way expensive and overpriced. That is asked if we're on MySpace. No, but I have heard that's going to be the next big thing. So, you never know. Who knows? It might come back. It is just for bands. I don't know.
Holy shit.
You gotta be on MySpace. We'll get on MySpace.
That's right.
No stone unturned.
I brought up Friendster. That's pretty funny. That was the first one. No, I think if you're going to see us on any alternative tech coming up soon, it'd probably be like Rumble or BitChute.
I feel like pretty much everyone's similar except for Matt, who's on Grindr. But other than that,
Big Downey.
If you guys happen to stumble across Magicians Only, you might find me. I don't know. It's like Farmers Only, but for guys who don't do physical labor. It's great. Anyways, this has been episode 47 of the Drunken Under Quarantine show. We've gone almost a half hour over because we have a great time with Matt every time he's here. And thank you guys for joining us. Please remember until next week to stay safe. Oh, who's on next week? I'm pretty sure it's Kenyon. Let me check. Yeah, Ryan Kenyon will be on the show next week for episode 48. And then we're in the last month, and we got some good ones planned. So, Matt, again, thank you for being here. Of course, everybody out there, please remember to stay safe, stay drunk, stay underwhelming, but most importantly, stay sane, and don't hate your fucking neighbor. We'll see you guys next week.